Hey everybody, welcome to Q&A video number 41. Make sure to keep asking questions, doesn't matter what they're about. They can be about anything. Just know I don't respond to review requests or let's play requests in these videos, but we'll respond to them in the comments. You can post your questions in the comments below, you can send them to me via PM, or you can put them in the appropriate section of the forums or on the discussion topic that is in my Steam group. The gameplay footage in the background is of Crysis 2. Particularly the multiplayer. And yes, the multiplayer does run that badly for some bizarre reason. That's on the lowest graphics settings too. Single player runs far better than that, and at higher graphics settings. I don't get it, but maybe somebody can explain that to me. I don't know. But anyway, I apologize for how choppy the frame rate is in this. Anyway, we're going to start today with a question from RevUp26. What is your opinion on games that attempt to blend RPG genres, particularly JRPG and Western? Examples include Dark Souls, Cthulhu Saves the World, and Anachronox. Well, that's kind of a misnomer. Anachronox and Cthulhu Saves the World are pretty much straight-up JRPGs. It's how they play. They don't really do anything different from JRPG. They just happen to be made in the West. Dark Souls, on the other hand, I wouldn't even really call it an RPG. It plays out more like a hack and slash than anything else. It does have RPG elements, but it really isn't much of a role-playing game at all. The problem with a role-playing game is that you have to be role-playing, and you don't do that in JRPGs. That doesn't mean that they're bad games, it just means that they are badly named. We really do need a better genre name than JRPG, that's just what we call them. But, you can't really blend the two together and come out with something that actually works. Simple reason for that is they're two wildly different styles of game. One of them, the JRPG, is this extremely linear, but maybe with an open world and some side quests and stuff, but it's an extremely linear thing where the storyline is the most important part of the gameplay. And yes, the storyline is the gameplay. Most of these games are cutscenes. That or just this tacked-on combat system that's really just stat-heavy, and that's kind of it. Whereas a Western RPG is really about the role-playing aspects, the choice, the being able to go at situations very differently depending on how you want to play it. That's what a role-playing game is. A JRPG is not a role-playing game. Again, this is not a bad thing, but that's just not... They're not role-playing games. You're not doing any role-playing. You're just watching the story unfold. It's closer to an adventure game than anything else. But anyway... There aren't really any games that do actually attempt to blend these things. There are Japanese games that try to be Western, and there are Western games that try to be Japanese. But other than that, there really isn't much intermixing. And I'd say that the things that try to be more of a different style, at least they're trying to branch out and trying to avoid the mold, so to speak. We do have this kind of habit of games falling into different molds and getting very... samey and very derivative, so it is nice to see them trying different things. Next one is from Vengeant95. Have you considered giving a tutorial video or a series of how to make a review? Not really. I've given advice on how to make a review, and that is to find your own style, and that's really it. I can't really say much else. I mean, the way I do things is going to be very different from the way you do things, and the way people say, like, Angry Joe or Spoonie do. They go for the more comedic route. I go for just my own perspective and just saying what I feel about things. Some people prefer that sort of thing. Some people prefer to be funny. Some people prefer to be very meticulous and that sort of thing. It really just depends on you. So I encourage you to find your own styles if you're going to try to do reviews. If you're going to try to go the comedy route, I'm warning you right now, comedy's really, really hard. So don't be discouraged if you're going into this thing and people are like, this isn't funny. You have to find something that works. But I can't really give a video series of how to make a review or anything. There's so many different ways of doing them, and it really just depends on the individual. But I can give general tips if you ask me specific questions on that sort of thing. Anyway, next one is from Ashed65. The big three in anime, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Do you like any of them, and if you do, which one and why? I love how you're trying to be mutually exclusive here. I used to like Naruto and Bleach. I never got into One Piece at all. I think it was just the English dub being absolutely horrendous. But Naruto and Bleach had some really nice action sequences that were just really cool to watch. And that was kind of all I liked about them. I mean, they had some cool ideas here and there, but by and large, the storylines were just kind of like, wait, what? Or just outright stupid altogether. And so I was really more invested in the action than I was in the whole mythos and everything. But so that's kind of the problem. And the other big problem is those are really, really, really heavy on filler, and I hate filler. So yeah. Next one is from Fusion Gamer Lee. What's the best and worst DLC you've ever encountered? The worst, horse armor. Because why? No, really. Why? Why would you even bother with horse armor? That's just pointless. I mean, come on. Anyway, the best I've ever seen. It has to be something like, say, Shale in Dragon Age, or maybe Lair of the Shadow Broker in Mass Effect 2. Stuff like that that really adds to the game and the storyline and the mythos. Adds in characters that are really cool and this kind of essential to the gameplay, but without the game, it just feels like it's missing something, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But there's really not a lot of DLCs I've actually gotten, and that's just from me not really getting DLCs by and large, so... it's kind of hard to say the best and worst I've ever encountered when that's kind of the situation, right? Anywho. And the last question for today is from Mr. Van Dale. What does the DW in DWTerminator mean? I actually get this question a fair amount, and it kind of surprises me how much people ask it. And the simple reason is that the name stuck. Back in the day, I had a clan, and its initials were DW. And since the name Terminator is very common online, people just took to calling me DW. And so the name stuck. I've been DWTerminator ever since. It's really that simple. The clan isn't really around anymore. I do still occasionally talk to the people who were in it, but yeah, that's what it comes from, in case you were curious about it. Anyway, that was Q&A 41. Make sure to keep asking questions, and I will catch you guys in later videos.